This is Baalbek, located in Lebanon, where history reveals astonishing mysteries. Each of these three massive blocks weighs an incredible 900 tons. What does that weight even mean? That's equivalent to 1.7 million pounds. Imagine if these 500-ton stone blocks weren't just moved by people. What if they were moved by a lost civilization with advanced technology? Could the greatest mystery of the ancient world lie right here, not in Egypt or Jerusalem? Baalbek, nestled deep in Lebanon, is hidden in plain sight. These blocks are actually far older than the Roman period. Deep beneath Lebanon's enigmatic ruins, archaeologists discovered underground chambers. These chambers are carved with impossible precision, defying our understanding. There are magnetic anomalies that challenge the laws of physics. Tool marks suggest cutting methods we cannot replicate today. This is undoubtedly Baalbek, home to a Roman temple. I'm seated in the Temple of Jupiter. Behind me is the Temple of Bacchus. Bacchus, the Roman god of wine, symbolizes the fun-loving nature of Romans. Yet there's this bizarre enclosure wall, separate from the Temple of Jupiter. Archaeologists amusingly claim the Romans did it all. They believed 900-ton blocks were manageable, but 1,000 tons was too much. The German Archaeological Institute tried to keep it quiet, but reports leaked. They reveal stones fitted so perfectly they appear laser-cut. Acoustic systems amplify sound without any electronics. Evidence of industrial workshops existed on a scale that astounds. These findings suggest technologies lost to history. It was previously believed there was no megalithic architecture before 6,000 years ago. However, they don't acknowledge a lost advanced civilization. This impossible discovery challenges our understanding of history. You're standing before stones heavier than 1,600 tons each. That's heavier than 400 elephants stacked on top of each other. Welcome to Baalbek, Lebanon, where the impossible becomes reality. For decades, archaeologists have pondered how ancient civilizations managed these feats. They wondered how to quarry, transport, and position these colossal megaliths. Recent discoveries by the German Archaeological Institute are shocking the scientific community. The site, 65 kilometers east of Beirut, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. What researchers found beneath centuries of soil is rewriting history. These aren't just big rocks. They are precision-cut limestone blocks. They fit together so perfectly that you can't slide a sheet of paper between them. A thin slice of paper lies between them, showcasing remarkable precision. The level of accuracy rivals modern laser cutting technology. Yet these stones were created thousands of years ago, with tools that supposedly didn't exist. Let's talk about the star of this megalithic show, the Stone of the Pregnant Woman. This massive limestone giant weighs approximately 1,000 tons and measures an astounding 20.5 meters. But here's where things get really weird. This colossal stone was never moved from its quarry. It sits there, partially carved, as if the ancient workers vanished into thin air. What could have caused such an abrupt halt in construction? Archaeological evidence suggests this megalith was intended for the Temple of Jupiter. It already sits on 3 enormous limestone blocks weighing around 900 tons each. But if they could move those massive stones, why did they leave the pregnant woman behind? The quarry itself tells a fascinating story. Researchers have found tool marks, ramps, and evidence of sophisticated planning. This would make modern engineers jealous. The precision of the cuts and understanding of stone grain reveals advanced technical knowledge. Some researchers speculate that workers encountered structural problems with the stone. Others believe external factors such as political upheaval or natural disasters forced abandonment. The mystery deepens when considering the massive investment of time and resources. Just when scientists thought they understood Baalbek's mysteries, another bombshell dropped. In 2014, archaeologists discovered what they call the Forgotten Stone. This third monolith is even more impressive, weighing an estimated 1,500 tons. That's 3 times heavier than the heaviest objects moved during the construction of Stonehenge. The discovery process itself felt like something out of an adventure movie. Ground-penetrating radar and careful excavation techniques revealed this buried giant. Each shovelful of dirt removed exposed more evidence of incredible skills. What's fascinating about the third monolith is its state of completion. Unlike the pregnant woman, the stone appears fully quarried and prepared for transport. The smooth surfaces and precise angles suggest it was ready to be moved. But again, we're left with the haunting question. Why was it never transported? What event or circumstance could have caused the builders to walk away? These discoveries suggest organizational capability and technical knowledge rivaling modern projects. We're talking about coordinating hundreds, possibly thousands of workers, managing complex logistics, and executing precision engineering on a massive scale. Construction companies have long puzzled over ancient engineering that seems to defy logic. Let's break down exactly why these megaliths are so mind-boggling. First, consider the quarrying process. These stones weren't just broken off from a cliff face. They were precisely cut using techniques that left surfaces smoother than many modern tools can achieve. The ancient builders had to understand geology well enough to identify stones that wouldn't crack under their own massive weight. They needed to calculate structural integrity, plan transportation routes, and design lifting mechanisms capable of handling loads that would crush most modern cranes. Recent analysis of the quarry sites reveals a sophisticated understanding of leverage, counterweights, and mechanical engineering. Researchers have found evidence of ramp systems, pulley anchor points, and staging areas. This suggests a highly organized construction process. But here's what really keeps archaeologists awake at night: the transportation mystery. Moving a 500-ton stone even a short distance would require technology that we're told didn't exist. Modern heavy lift cranes max out at around 20,000 tons, but they need solid foundations and precise engineering. Yet the ancient builders somehow managed to move stones weighing nearly a tenth of our most powerful modern equipment's capacity. And they did it over rough terrain without the benefit of modern roads, vehicles, or machinery. Some researchers have proposed a new method of transporting stones involving massive wooden rollers and earthen ramps, and armies of workers. But even the most generous estimates suggest such methods would require impossible numbers of people working in perfect coordination. The Roman connection. Mystery. Here's where the plot thickens even more. The official historical narrative tells us that the Romans built the Temple of Jupiter at Baalbek around the 1st century AD. But there's a problem with this story that's making historians very uncomfortable. The megalithic foundation blocks supporting the Roman temple show a completely different construction style than the Roman stonework above them. The base stones are so precisely fitted that they seem to belong to an entirely different civilization, one with far more advanced technical capabilities. Roman engineering, impressive as it was, typically involved smaller stones held together with mortar. The precision-fitted megalithic blocks beneath the temple require no binding agent whatsoever. They rely purely on perfect geometric fitting and immense weight for stability. Carbon dating and archaeological evidence suggest the site has been continuously occupied for thousands of years, potentially dating back to the 8th millennium BC. This means the megalithic foundation could be far, far older than the Roman structures. Some researchers are beginning to whisper about a predecessor civilization, an advanced culture that existed long before the Romans arrived. This theoretical civilization would have possessed engineering knowledge that was somehow lost to history, leaving only these massive stone monuments as evidence of their existence. The Romans, arriving centuries later, may have simply built their temple on top of an already existing megalithic platform, taking advantage of the superior engineering of their mysterious predecessors. Let's delve into the astonishing precision that seems almost impossible. This is where engineers find themselves completely baffled. The precision of these megalithic blocks isn't just impressive, it's technically impossible using the tools and methods we think were available. Modern laser measurement tools reveal that these stone surfaces are flat to within millimeters across their entire length. The angles where blocks meet are so precise that they form perfect 90-degree corners. The horizontal alignment is so accurate that achieving it would be a challenge even with today's surveying equipment. This level of precision requires advanced tools, sophisticated measuring instruments, and mathematical knowledge. We typically associate these with modern industrial processes and quality control systems. Consider the logistics alone. Ensuring that a 1,500-ton block fits perfectly with its neighbors is no small feat. It requires measurements and calculations that must be accurate across distances of dozens of meters. Any error, no matter how small, would result in misalignment that couldn't be corrected without starting over. The surface finish on many of these stones is so smooth that it appears almost polished. Achieving this finish on such massive blocks would require abrasive techniques and tools that simply didn't exist. Some stones show evidence of what appear to be machine-like cutting marks, indicating advanced techniques. These marks have led researchers to speculate about unknown ancient technologies that have been lost to history. The quarry site itself is perhaps even more mysterious than the stones it produced. Recent excavations have revealed a complex industrial operation that challenges our understanding of ancient manufacturing capabilities. The quarry shows evidence of sophisticated planning and organization that was previously unrecognized. There are clearly defined work areas, tool storage locations, and quality control stations for inspecting stones. Researchers have found various types of cutting tools, each designed for specific tasks. Some tools were used for rough cutting, others for precision finishing, and some for intricate details. The waste management system at the quarry is particularly impressive, with systematic removal of debris. This level of planning suggests a highly disciplined workforce operating under sophisticated management systems. Perhaps most intriguingly, the quarry shows evidence of unfinished experiments, stones that were abandoned. These stones may have been abandoned due to testing new techniques or unexpected challenges. One partially completed megalith shows tool marks that appear to change mid-project, suggesting innovation. This suggests a level of technical innovation and problem-solving that rivals modern engineering approaches. Now let's tackle the elephant in the room. How did they move these massive stones? This is where even the most conservative archaeologists start to squirm uncomfortably. The distance from the quarry to the temple complex is approximately 800 meters. This distance is mostly uphill over rough terrain. Moving a 1,500-ton object over this distance would be challenging even with modern equipment, let alone with ancient tools. Researchers have proposed various theories involving massive wooden rollers, earthen ramps, and hundreds of workers. But when engineers actually calculate the forces involved, the numbers simply don't add up. A 1,500-ton stone would require rollers with a diameter of several meters, just to support the weight without crushing. Moving such an object would require a pulling force of approximately 300 tons, assuming ideal conditions with no friction or inclines. Even if we generously assume that each ancient worker could contribute 50 kilograms of pulling force, we'd need 6,000 people working in perfect coordination, and that's just for the pulling. We'd need additional thousands for guiding, supporting, and managing the massive wooden roller system. The logistics become even more impossible when you consider that the route includes several significant elevation changes and rocky terrain that would be nearly impossible to prepare for such a massive load. Some researchers have proposed that the ancients used a system of multiple cranes and pulleys, but this theory has its own problems. The mechanical advantage needed would require pulley systems so large and complex that they would dwarf any known ancient engineering projects. The alien theory controversy. Now, before you click away thinking we're going full ancient aliens, hear us out. While we're not saying extraterrestrials built Baalbek, we have to acknowledge the engineering challenges. These challenges push the boundaries of what we believe ancient humans could accomplish. The precision, scale, and technical sophistication of these megaliths have led some researchers to propose that an unknown advanced civilization existed in antiquity. one whose technological capabilities were somehow lost to history. This isn't necessarily about aliens from outer space. Perhaps there were ancient cultures that developed engineering solutions we haven't rediscovered yet. The problem with conventional archaeology is that it sometimes struggles to accept evidence that doesn't fit established timelines and technological progressions. When we find artifacts or structures that seem too advanced for their supposed time period, there's often a tendency to explain them away rather than revise our understanding. At Baalbek, we have physical evidence of engineering capabilities that challenge our assumptions. Rather than dismissing this evidence, perhaps we should be asking what we're missing about ancient civilizations and their capabilities. The precision of these megaliths suggests access to advanced measuring tools, sophisticated mathematical knowledge, and engineering techniques that we associate with much later historical periods. How do we reconcile this with our understanding of technological development? Modern technology meets ancient mystery. The ancient builders achieved remarkable feats at Baalbek. Modern heavy-lift cranes are impressive machines requiring solid, level foundations. These cranes handle loads near the weight of these megalithic blocks. The largest mobile cranes can lift about 1,200 tons under ideal conditions. However, the 500-ton Baalbek stones present a serious challenge even today. Moving such massive objects requires specialized transport vehicles and reinforced roadways. Extensive planning is needed, and a single heavy-haul transport job costs millions. This also requires months of preparation, underscoring the complexity of the task. The ancient builders accomplished this feat without hydraulic systems or steel cables. They relied on muscle power, wooden tools, and rope. Conventional archaeology tells us this, but recent attempts to recreate techniques have struggled. Even with modern safety equipment and unlimited budgets, success is elusive. Experimental archaeologists have struggled to move stones weighing just a few tons. The gap between what we believe ancient people could achieve and reality is significant. This doesn't necessarily mean they had power tools or advanced machinery. However, it does suggest they possessed engineering knowledge that has been lost to history. Baalbek isn't unique in its megalithic mysteries. There are similar examples worldwide. These ancient engineering feats challenge our understanding of prehistoric capabilities. From Pumapunku in Bolivia to Sacsayhuaman in Peru, a global pattern emerges. There is precision stone construction that conventional archaeology struggles to explain. It's intriguing how construction techniques are consistent across cultures. These cultures supposedly had no contact with each other. The massive scale and sophisticated engineering solutions show remarkable consistency. Despite being separated by thousands of miles and years, similarities exist. At Pumapunku, we find stone blocks with perfectly straight edges and right angles. These blocks fit together with almost machine-like precision. The surfaces are so smooth, they appear polished, rivaling modern standards. In Egypt, the Great Pyramid contains stone blocks weighing up to 80 tons. These blocks were lifted over 400 feet into the air with remarkable accuracy. The engineering challenges here differ from Baalbek, but are equally impressive. Sacsayhuaman features massive stone walls with irregular, multi-sided blocks. These blocks fit together so perfectly that you can't insert a knife blade between them. Each block appears to have been custom cut to match its neighbors exactly. These sites share characteristics suggesting a shared technological tradition. Alternatively, they may represent the independent development of similar advanced engineering solutions. This possibility has profound implications for our understanding of ancient civilizations. The global distribution of these megalithic sites raises questions about communication. It also prompts us to consider technology transfer and the true capabilities of prehistoric civilizations. Here's where things get really controversial. While most mainstream archaeologists stick to established narratives, some question them. A growing number of researchers are expressing doubts about conventional explanations involving ramps, ropes, and manpower. These doubts arise because the mathematical and engineering realities of moving 500-ton stones don't support the traditional theories. When you analyze factors like friction, leverage, and human physical capabilities, conventional theories begin to fall apart. Some researchers propose that ancient civilizations may have used technologies we don't yet understand or see in the archaeological record. This doesn't mean they had electric power or modern machinery, but they might have developed unique engineering solutions. Another possibility is that our understanding of ancient chronology could be incorrect. If these megalithic structures are older than we assume, they might have been built by civilizations with more advanced techniques. The reluctance to consider alternative explanations isn't just close-mindedness. It reflects the conservative nature of academic archaeology. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and researchers are cautious about challenging established beliefs. However, the physical evidence at Baalbek is truly extraordinary and demands serious consideration of alternative explanations. These megaliths display precision, scale, and technical sophistication that challenge our preconceptions about ancient capabilities. The real question isn't whether ancient people were capable of impressive engineering. Clearly they were. The question is whether they could engineer beyond what we currently believe was possible for their time. Here's something that might challenge everything you've been taught about ancient history. Deep within the archaeological archives, findings from Baalbek rarely see the light of day. These discoveries are so unusual that they don't fit into conventional historical narratives. Recent ground-penetrating radar surveys revealed underground chambers and tunnels beneath the Baalbek complex. These tunnels extend far deeper than anyone previously imagined, opening a new realm of possibilities. The subterranean structures appear to be carved from solid bedrock with remarkable precision, just like the surface megaliths. Intriguingly, some underground chambers show no signs of traditional tool marks. The walls are so uniform that they appear to have been formed using an unknown technique, leaving no trace. In 2019, researchers thought they discovered a natural cave system beneath the temple complex. Further investigation revealed geometric patterns and right-angled corners indicative of intelligent design. The chambers connect through perfectly straight tunnels, maintaining consistent dimensions over hundreds of meters. Perhaps most mysteriously, some of these spaces contain mounting points or anchor systems carved into the rock walls. These features suggest that heavy equipment or machinery was once installed in these chambers. Yet, there's no conventional explanation for what kind of equipment ancient people would have used underground. Official archaeological reports describe these findings in technical language, often buried in academic jargon. Some aspects of the underground engineering remain inaccessible to the general public. However, when you strip away the formal language, a sophisticated picture emerges. Some researchers speculate that these underground chambers were part of the construction process. They may have housed the mysterious machinery used to quarry and move massive megaliths. Now, let's dive into the acoustic anomaly discovery. Baalbek is not just an engineering marvel, it's also an acoustic mystery. Recent acoustic studies have revealed baffling sound effects from the megalithic structures. Standing in certain positions within the temple, your voice amplifies and projects with clarity. It's as if the ancient builders designed a sophisticated sound system. The underground chambers we discussed enhance these fascinating acoustic properties. Sound waves travel through the megalithic structures, emerging with increased clarity. This effect is challenging to replicate even with modern audio engineering. Researchers have found the temple complex resonates at frequencies matching human speech. When certain sounds are produced, the entire structure vibrates sympathetically. This amplification enriches the overall acoustic experience. This isn't random chance. Mathematical precision is required for these effects. The ancient builders possessed a sophisticated understanding of sound wave behavior. Their knowledge rivals modern concert hall design. Dramatic acoustic effects occur when multiple people speak simultaneously. Their voices blend and harmonize, creating new sound patterns. This suggests the structure was designed for specific acoustic performances. The underground chambers add another layer to this acoustic mystery. Sound waves entering these spaces are modified and return to the surface. These effects are described as impossible to replicate without electronic equipment. Interestingly, similar acoustic properties are found at other megalithic sites worldwide. This suggests that advanced acoustic engineering was common among ancient civilizations. Now, let's explore the magnetic field mystery at Baalbek. Recent geomagnetic surveys have revealed strange anomalies that intrigue physicists. The massive limestone blocks exhibit slight magnetization that is not natural. When mapped, they display deliberate patterns of magnetic orientation. These effects intensify during electrical storms, interacting with atmospheric energy. The megaliths appear to engage with atmospheric energy in ways science can't fully explain. Even more intriguing, magnetic anomalies extend beneath the surface. Uncovering these patterns opens new avenues for understanding ancient civilizations. Beneath the site, the bedrock is strikingly regular and aligned with the megaliths above, suggesting a coordinated design. This design seems to extend deep beneath the surface, raising questions about its purpose. Compasses behave erratically near certain blocks, but these deviations follow consistent patterns. It's almost as if they were intentionally guiding orientation within the complex. The mystery deepens when sound enters the equation. The site's acoustic properties seem to shift in response to magnetic variations, producing unusual resonances. Local legends about the stones singing have found modern confirmation. Monitoring equipment has detected low-frequency tones during periods of atmospheric electromagnetic activity. Scientists remain baffled by how ancient builders could have known about or manipulated these effects. Prepare to have your mind blown by what archaeologists discovered in the Baalbek quarry sites. Hidden beneath centuries of soil and debris, researchers have uncovered ancient industrial workshops. These workshops operated on a scale that defies everything we know about prehistoric manufacturing. Tool fragments and manufacturing debris suggest builders had access to advanced cutting technologies. Some fragments show wear patterns consistent with cutting hard materials under high-precision conditions. The workshop layouts reveal an understanding of efficient manufacturing processes. They mirror modern industrial organization, featuring defined areas for different production stages. From initial rough cutting to final precision finishing, each step is meticulously organized. What's particularly intriguing are the quality control stations for inspecting partially completed megaliths. The measuring devices haven't survived, but stone surfaces show evidence of precision checking. This precision required measurement tools, accurate to within millimeters. The workshops also show evidence of sophisticated waste management and recycling systems. Stone chips and debris were carefully sorted, suggesting even waste products had value. They were processed for secondary uses, indicating a thorough understanding of material potential. Perhaps most mysteriously, researchers found evidence of heat treatment processes. These processes seem to alter the properties of limestone blocks, requiring advanced technology. Some areas show evidence of chemical treatment processes involving substances not found locally. Chemical analysis has revealed compounds requiring advanced knowledge of mineral processing. The scale of these operations suggests a massive coordinated industrial effort. It involved hundreds of specialized workers operating under sophisticated management systems. This level of organization and capability challenges our fundamental assumptions about ancient societies. Here's where the Baalbek mystery gets controversial and mainstream archaeology becomes uncomfortable. New dating methods and geological evidence suggest the megalithic structures may be thousands of years older. Anyone previously imagined traditional archaeological dating places the megalithic foundations around the Roman period, roughly 2,000 years ago. But geological analysis of weathering patterns, sediment layers, and erosion rates suggest these stones have been exposed to the elements for much longer. Water damage patterns on some megalithic blocks indicate exposure to significant flooding events that geological records suggest occurred much earlier. The supposed construction dates The erosion patterns are consistent with stones that have weathered for periods measured in many thousands of years, not centuries. Even more controversial are the results from newer dating techniques being applied to organic materials found within. The megalithic construction. Some of these dates are coming back significantly older than conventional archaeological timelines would predict. The implications of these older dates are staggering. If the Baalbek megaliths are indeed thousands of years older than previously thought, it would mean they were constructed by civilizations that supposedly didn't have the technological capabilities for such advanced engineering. Some researchers have begun whispering about suppressed dating results, scientific findings that challenge established chronologies, and are therefore not published in mainstream archaeological journals. Whether or not such suppression actually occurs, and technological progress. If true, it would mean that human civilization has been far more advanced for far longer than we currently believe. The resistance to considering these alternative timelines isn't necessarily due to conspiracy or cover-up, but rather to the conservative nature of academic archaeology and the enormous implications such discoveries would have for established historical understanding. From the 500-ton third monolith to the impossibly precise construction techniques, these Lebanese stone giants remind us that our ancestors were far more accomplished. Fact and conventional history suggests. What do you think really happened at Baalbek?